I'm Joe Padula.
I'm Jared Stover.
I'm Senator Bill Powers.
And this is the local news you need to know. Absolutely. What's going on, gentlemen?
Another lovely day, Joe. Another lovely day.
What
Chilly.
about the prop there?
Which prop?
Well, it looked like the eggs were ready.
Are the eggs ready?
Ding, ding, ding.
Oh.
Yeah.
I would love eggs. I got a friend of mine. She has chickens, and I get eggs from her, and I can't go back to store bought. What a difference from the local eggs. What I don't care about is when she hands them to me, I have to clean them off myself.
There's that.
I've had some of those.
Yeah.
There's a drawback, Joe.
Feathers and chicken poop.
Yeah.
There's a drawback,
Yeah, I had some like that.
Oof. But hey, it's worth it.
And you don't have to refrigerate those.
Yes. How long?
I'd say no more than. So I'm weird about that. I like mine refrigerated, just straight out there, because I mean that's the thing. You know, I'm like, let's refrigerate that. Christy's like, oh, it'll be fine. She leaves it out there for 3 or 4 days until we eat it.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's still I haven't died yet, so I'm gonna go with that.
I do the test, the water test, where you put a bowl of water, big bowl, and you put the egg in it, and if it floats, throw it out. If it doesn't float, you're good to go. I'm like a farmer now.
Is that like an old wives' tale, though, Joe?
But it's true.
Is it true? Is it true?
It's true.
Is it true, Brooke?
Yeah.
Thank you, Brooke.
Brooke said it's true.
So
Off camera, we got Brooke and Adam. What's up, Adam? How you doing?
Good, how are you?
So what is the difference between an egg that floats and one that doesn't float?
So the one that floats,
me here.
the one that floats, it's gone bad. It's expired, is what I'm told. And the ones that don't float, you're still good. Now, if it's like trying to float to the top, you're risking it. Yeah. Yeah, check it out.
Discretion at that point.
Mm-hmm. Right, absolutely. Hey, make sure to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Boom. Chef goes, you can have them unwashed eggs for about 2 weeks. Okay, that's good to know. Appreciate you, Chef. Absolutely. Eggs. Hey, we got early voting coming up, huh, Senator?
Yes, we do. Actually, it starts tomorrow at 8 o'clock in the morning over at Veterans Plaza. We also, let me throw this in too, there are 2 more voting locales for this year, one being the same one out at the airport, and the other one being the Rich Ellen, the athletic complex way out in Palmyra, if you know where that is. It's a county complex out there, but they don't actually open the other 2. The airport and out in Palmyra doesn't open for another week or something like that.
It's not cheap campaigning, huh?
The only thing that's open tomorrow,
Yeah.
let's put it this way, the only thing that's open tomorrow would be Veterans Plaza.
Veterans Plaza.
And I noted it to y'all before the show started, but I think we ought to make the viewers aware that if you vote, if you go out and vote, you will no longer get emails from candidates. They will know that you have voted.
And text messages?
It has gotten that sophisticated. I don't know about text messages.
I hope that no more text messages.
But I am told that if you go out and vote, they will know that you have voted. They will cross-reference it, and you will no longer get emails. So that in and of itself is a reason to go vote early.
Vote early. Absolutely. I'm in.
Vote early and quit getting emails.
Please. Stop sending me text messages. I got one from Ted Cruz today.
Why are you getting it said? Why are you getting Ted Cruz?
I don't know. He's a senator out of Texas.
Well, you'd probably sign up on his website or something, right? For Ted Cruz stuff. I don't get those, I don't get any emails.
Have you ever lived in Texas?
No. I visited Corpus Christi. Nice city. Smelled like low tide. All right. Would you follow and record a drunk driver?
I have.
You have.
And got him arrested, too.
And got them arrested.
Absolutely.
Well, you might be just like this person here. Let's take a look. Here's News Channel 5, Nick Barris.
So what would you do? A guy wrecks, but keeps driving his damaged car, all the while throwing beer cans out the window. In this case, 2 good Samaritans saw it, called 911, and followed the suspect trying to warn others. Brace yourself now for a wild ride. Zach and Rachel Green say the driver of this car crashed into a telephone pole in Allgood, but then just kept
What is
driving.
going on
Rachel
here?
started shooting video while Zach called 911.
He just tossed a can out the car.
Oh, he's
Yeah,
drunk.
he just tossed a Bud Light out the car. He's drunk.
And those tires are shot, huh?
Maybe.
This is crazy.
Maybe.
He's about to hit some cars.
The suspect,
Oh,
now
no.
identified as Damon Selby, did just refuse to stop
Come on,
despite the
Damon.
damage to his car.
Front bumper's ripped off, back bumper's barely hanging on. All 4 tires are blown. He's skating all over the road. This car is destroyed, but he's still trying to drive it.
The Greens followed, describing what they saw and their location to Allgood police.
He's going right.
How do you think he popped the tires? All 4 of them.
Impact. I mean, it's a Kia, Joe. It's not designed to take like a hard stance.
Well, now that it's a Kia, I'm wondering if it's a stolen car. They love stealing Kias
And Hyundai.
He doesn't.
and Hyundais.
Okay, so the driver did not look sophisticated enough to steal said vehicle. All right.
From what I understand, it's kind of simple how to steal these Kias, though, right? It's like this USB thing.
It's easier than the rest of the
You would think they would fix that at the manufacturing plant.
easier. Well, it's hard to go back and retro.
That's a good point.
Right by the train tracks. He's about to run off the road.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
I'm trying to get. We're really busy, so I have officers
What's up,
everywhere,
Philip?
not right where you're at. So I'm
Yeah,
trying to get
he was
somebody up
tipsy.
there.
He was just tipsy.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, he hit the embankment.
Oh, no.
Just now.
Oh, there's rubber all over the road.
He's gonna look like a Kia 4-door. You'll see it. A Kia 4-door. It's like a
Yeah, sir, you can't miss it. It's the only car that is driving in the opposite direction
With no tires.
with no tires.
And slanted.
Yeah, and slanted and smells like Coors Light.
tan beige color.
That's
Okay, so hit that
silver.
car.
The Greens flashed their headlights, trying to warn motorists and pedestrians at a nearby playground.
Oh,
Where the guy
my
drives
Lord.
along the sidewalk, 100 feet to his left is where, the entire Allgood community takes their kids to play.
The good news is Selby turned into a dead end, and it's there where police were able to take him into custody. This was some 10 minutes after that first 911 call. There was some property damage, but no one, incredibly, was injured.
Thank you, Jesus.
Nick Barris, News Channel 5.
So, yeah, Jared, you did something similar like this?
I did.
You were driving a Kia all over the road?
No, I was the guy filming him.
What was the situation?
Drunk driver. I was back when I was on recruiting. It was years ago. Had a parent that was drunk. A kid called me, said, "Hey, my mom's drunk. You have to come get me." I was like, "Okay." So she takes off like a bat out of hell, driving drunk, and I called the cops. Followed them. They pulled her out, put her in cuffs, took her away.
Did you get a ticket for using your cell phone recording while driving?
No, it wasn't a thing back then.
Okay, yeah.
Wasn't a thing back then. The hands-free laws, not a thing. Not a thing.
Senator Powers, any comments on stuff like this?
I've done that before on the interstate with drunk drivers on the interstate.
Following them?
I have. No, I didn't follow them, but I did call 911 and give a mile marker.
Yeah.
Where I was and eastbound or whatever, and I've done that a couple of times. Drunk people on the interstate, it's different driving 30 down the road,
Yeah.
or 10 miles an hour, and people driving 75, 80.
You're hoping at least
you're
70.
a projectile at that point. Here, this guy's honestly kind of a nuisance. He's going to get your mailbox and maybe a car on the side of the road, but when you're on the interstate, you're playing for keeps.
Christy Stover goes, what do you want to bet? He told the cop he only had 2 beers. Why is that always a thing? I just had 2. Back when, this was years ago, leaving a bar league softball back in New York, right? Mm-hmm. Sir, I only had 2. It's just like your common place to say. We got 2 of the Utes in here. When you guys get busted for partying, okay, just remember, you only had 2, all right?
2. You have to remember, though, you take your life into your own hands when you try to enforce laws like that, when you try to fall and stop somebody, because you never know what these people are going to come out do. You have to be careful.
Right. That's a good point,
If
too.
if you're unprepared to do that, you have to be careful.
Make sure you're packing.
Always.
BillPowersTN.com. It's a great picture of you guys.
You know, that's downtown. That's actually right in front of Yada Yada.
In Edwards over in
that's
front
right,
of you. Yeah.
Edwards and all those good places
Yeah, I was gonna
across
say,
from
that's-
the Roxy.
That's
It's,
close to where the statue's at.
That's me and my wife. That's right, next to Frank Sutton.
Did you know I named Yada Yada Yada?
Did you really?
Yep. Do you remember? Well, it was originally Yada Yada Yada, a coffee shop on Strawberry. Well, that was purchased. It was originally Hops Java, and they purchased it, Darlin Company. And they were coming up with names because they wanted this New York bagel shop type of vibe. So I go, let's go with the Seinfeld, Yada Yada Yada. Boom, they did it. And then when they became the restaurant, they dropped the Yada Yada and just kept Yada. And I still have to pay full price for my coffee.
Joe, we will never be like the bagel shops up in that area.
Yeah,
It's
I know.
I went to one in Maryland, and it was amazing in Bethesda. So the real deal, you know, they had the Hasidic Jews in the back stuff to making this stuff, and I was
That's
like,
right.
amazing,
The best bagels.
amazing. Lox and bagels,
Bill, where'd you guys
blow
meet?
your mind.
My wife,
Yeah.
I taught my wife how to
up,
do
Joe
a two off the high dive growing up.
Is that slang for something? What is that?
Two flips.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I've known my wife for a long time. I actually dated my next door neighbor for a while, and I actually I didn't get married till I was 30 years old,
Nice.
and so
How'd you propose?
you know, in a restaurant in Nashville.
Nice.
That was a lot of years ago, but yeah, I got married in 1987. Best thing I ever did.
You know, well, you guys are rocking and rolling together. I'm glad because she's always good people. But BillPowersTN.com. Check out the site. All right. Again, early voting starts tomorrow.
8 a.m.
And yeah,
I
go to
was-
the website.
I was 9.
You were 9 in 87.
Yeah,
I was 7.
Look, there's my family.
I was 9.
Love it. Yeah, it's a good website. Clean website.
Yeah, and if you notice there also, another thing makes me a little bit different is my son in the front there. That's Henry.
Yeah, he's a cool kid.
And Henry's a special child. He's nonverbal. He's 29 years old and a blessing to us. But I can tell you that people that have special children, they know. And the rest of you probably don't. So
how's he doing? He's doing pretty good,
yeah,
right?
Henry's doing fine.
Yeah.
He's doing fine. But and there's my our only grandchild. That's my grandson right there, and he lives in. He will go nameless because of the politicians, but or the politics of it. But that's my son. He's a civil engineer in Nashville, and that's my daughter's to the left of my wife. And she's an audiologist in Nashville. She has a doctorate in audiology, and that's my daughter-in-law, kind of right there in the middle. And anyway, one big happy family.
I love it. Good
Nice
stuff.
Nice
Yep.
picture. Nice picture.
Yeah, we're going to get into a Bill's priorities here in just a moment. Moving right along. Let's see what we got. Oh, make sure to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Boom. Nashville sucks. I really wish they would get their act together. Okay, it's turning into
Memphis?
Memphis. It really is. It's violence over there is crazy, and I think it's soft policies that allow this to happen. There's this TSU just had their homecoming parade where there was a gang shooting, and you got looks like a gang-related shooting with the rest, a death.
Arrests after this weekend's deadly mass shooting in North Nashville happened just hours after Tennessee State University's homecoming parade. Jaxie Pigeon is here now with new information about how it all happened and why police believe gang activity may have led to this.
Well, Nikki,
She does have a great nose, doesn't she?
This is what I put up with all the time.
Like, don't ever get a nose job, ma'am. This is a perfect nose.
Yeah, Mom is literally listening at him. This is what he does to me all the time.
Christy, don't you agree? Her nose?
About how it all happened and why police believe gang activity may have led to this.
Well, Nikki, this morning, police tell us 4 of the 5 people involved in Saturday's mass shooting have previous arrest histories.
Duh.
Officials believe there was a shootout between
Gangs.
2 different groups near Jefferson Street and 27th Avenue North that left one 24-year-old man dead and 9 others hurt. After a 2-day search, police arrested 24-year-olds Marquez Davis and DeAnthony Brown as suspected shooters. The two are facing criminal homicide charges. Court documents say police were able to identify them.
Yeah, it is interesting that they call this a mass shooting and not gang violence.
Because we want to fit a narrative, Joe.
I agree with you on that,
We wanna
Jared.
fit a narrative.
Yeah, media sucks. Corporate media is terrible. But, hey, you know.
Officials
all
believe
right.
there was a shootout between two different groups near Jefferson Street and 27th
driving.
Avenue North
And
that left
putting on her
one
makeup.
24-year-old man dead and 9 others hurt. After a 2-day search, police arrested 24-year-olds Marquez Davis and DeAnthony Brown as suspected shooters.
Come on,
The two
guys.
are facing criminal homicide charges. Court documents say police were able to identify them in security camera footage where Davis could be seen pulling out a gun and pointing it at the victim, followed by Brown grabbing a gun out of his waistband. And when the victim pulled out his weapon, that's when officials say Davis and Brown fired at him, followed by shots from other group members. Officials say that Davis was carrying this gun before he was taken into custody late Monday night. Within the last 6 months, Davis has been convicted of robbery, drug resale, and felony gun possession. Following this tragedy, Mothers Over Murder, the Tennessee Hispanic Action Network, and other activists held an emergency meeting to discuss the steps to prevent gun violence in our communities.
Oh, boy, here comes gun control talks. Well, there's already laws. If you're a felon, you can't own the weapon. Well, he was a convicted felon that had the weapon. So what law needs to be put in place to prevent that? They're going to say, just get rid of the guns, I'm assuming.
I would.
Time after time, it's like Groundhog Day. We don't do anything about it. And that is because of the gun lobbies, and that is because of the corporations, and inevitably it's about money. Yes. And we have to get over that because we have a responsibility as elected officials to take care of the people that we were elected to serve.
Yes.
And we have a responsibility to make sure that we are keeping them safe.
I want you to know that I don't care if you live in North.
Senator Powers, you work with Senator
Heidi
Campbell?
Campbell. Yes, I do.
She is just from voting wise, a little to the left of the aisle. Is that accurate?
That is very accurate. Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
Gun
Let me say one thing, and I want to go back to the Tennessee State thing. That, Tennessee State has come out, and it is one of our universities, you know, within the Tennessee system, and I do sit on education. But they also made a note there were no students involved whatsoever.
That's right.
In that provocation or shooting or mass shooting or whatever you want to call it. And I think that's of note, you know, that now there was a lot of people there and it was gang related and it was whatever, but it had nothing to do with Tennessee State. And I just feel like that's important.
Yeah, that is important.
Second thing that I want to say here is if I could legislate parents who care, I could get rid of a lot of problems in the state of Tennessee if I were able to do that. I've always said that. And they come out and they want to blame it on this, that, everything else.
He was such
Where
a
is
good
mom?
boy.
Where is dad? Where is somebody to say,
so
what
glad you
are
brought
you
that up.
doing
Yes,
carrying a gun to a parade? You know, I mean, why would anyone do that?
He was
Your
such a good
parents
boy.
need to check you and make sure that you're not doing that.
I'm so glad you brought that up because in this story, at this gathering here, you have an organizer from a group called Gideon's Army, speaking. And their mission is to prevent this crime amongst the community. But I went on their website, and it mentions nothing about parenting. And that is the problem.
It's because they won't police their own community. That's the problem. They won't take care of what's going on in their community, but they want to politicize it to make money off of it.
Oh, I'm
Period.
glad you brought that up, too, because you find out that this nonprofit,
It's about money.
yeah, it is about money, but you're pointing the blame in the wrong direction, Miss Senator. Check this out.
And we have a responsibility to make sure that we are keeping them safe.
I want you to know
Gideon's
that I don't
Army.
care if you live in North, West, East, or South Nashville, that you are my children, and I will stand by you, and I will fight with you, and I will fight for you.
As long as the City Council of Nashville gives her organization money to the tune of about $1.5 million.
1.5. That's all, right? Just
Okay.
1.5.
Right.
Just 1.5.
It's all about the money.
1.5, yeah.
that you don't have to live the lives that you are living.
We know that every day is a work because every day a mother loses her child to gun violence somewhere, and we have to stop it.
You mean to gang violence
According
in the
to the gun
neighborhood?
Yeah, that's what they're. Gangs suck.
That's the problem, Joe. I mean, they politicize it, especially this time of year. We're in a very heated election cycle. They want to politicize everything, especially when it comes to gun violence. And if we look at the other countries, all right, there's knife. Well, we're going to take away the knives too. Knife violence. Okay, what do they have? Mass stabbing in England not long ago. Mass stabbing from an illegal immigrant.
Yeah, no, I hear you. We have laws that are being broken, and some people's solutions are to take away your rights, and I don't believe that's the solution.
I got a good solution. We'll put more of them in jail, but instead of we make jail nice, Joe. That's the problem. People don't mind going to jail because there's no suffering. Would make jail like they do in, let's say, like Mexico or something, where your family's got to come feed you, or you're eating rats or each other.
That's how the Roman prisons used to be.
There you go.
The people would have to come to Paul and provide them food.
Yeah, you don't get to go to college. You don't get to work out at the gym that they give you or read books. You know, you got a Bible, you got a bed, and then guess what? If you get something to eat, you got lucky that day.
Well, I think prisoners should get cell phones, and we should talk about that in a little bit.
Oh, let's do that.
An ambitious Metro plan to fund what's called violence interruption efforts in North Nashville hits a new snag.
One group picked by an advisory board to help lead that effort now says it's no longer interested, and some board members are second-guessing their decision to recommend the controversial group Gideon's Army.
Violence
News Channel 5's chief investigative reporter Phil Williams continues to follow the money. So, Phil, where does this leave this advisory board?
Well, it's yet to be seen, but potentially back to square one. The board appointed by the mayor to make recommendations to the Metro Council on who should get the funding will reconvene this week, trying to decide what they should do next. This after months of deliberation.
We're asking that you please fund Gideon's Army with the $1 million that's been added.
More than a year after Gideon's Army convinced the Metro Council to set aside $1 million for violence interruption in North Nashville, the future of that effort remains in doubt now as much as ever.
We have 4 violence interrupters.
An advisory board appointed by Mayor John Cooper, working with a new budget of $1.5 million, had heard from nonprofits interested in the work and recommended that Gideon's Army split the money with another group, the Rapha Institute.
Ah, Rapha. Do you know what Rapha means in Hebrew? Heal. Jehovah Rapha.
I know where that $1.5 million should have gone, Joe.
Where?
Gang Unit, Nashville.
Oh.
That's a great place for it to go because they'll stop gang violence by arresting them and removing them from the community.
I like that training of thought.
On a pilot project to see what could be done to reduce violence in the community.
Yeah, I hear you.
But Rapha recently pulled out, suggesting it was stretched too thin with other projects.
People should be able to have an opportunity to be redeemed.
Complicating matters even more, a recent blow-up involving Gideon's Army found...
This is the communist fist, by the way, just to let you know.
It does look kind of familiar.
Rashida Fatuga, who reportedly went on a profanity-laced tirade inside Pearl Cone High School, eventually yanking a photo from the office wall, taking it outside, and stomping
she got banned
on it.
from the school.
Fatuga was banned from the North Nashville school. One member of the mayor's advisory board emailed his colleagues, "How can we in good conscience send a message in support of funding to the Metro Council?"
We don't have enough people.
In fact, the advisory board never questioned Gideon's Army about a host of disturbing questions uncovered by News Channel 5 Investigates, including questions about a Gideon's Army employee who was seen with an assault weapon in the middle of a gun battle.
Oh. Not good. Not a good look.
The mayor's office has taken a hands-off position, saying it's up to the advisory board to make recommendations to the Metro Council.
Just to let you know. All right. You got groups out there that like to politicize violence and make money off of it. And
oh, geez, Joe, let's give money to people that are lying. I mean, we just had this whole thing with the BLM. Let's support these people and defund the police. That's a great idea.
Yeah, I'm
let's
not
just
for
stop
defunding
having
the
law
police.
enforcement. I mean, we don't need those guys. I mean, we'll keep ourselves safe. Hey, people won't use guns against us if we say no more police. That's what'll happen, right? It's just going to work that way.
Senator, when crime is brought up amongst you and your colleagues, what's the big discussion going on?
You know, it always centers on the larger cities.
Uh-huh.
You know, and it always, you get into downtown Nashville and downtown Memphis, you know, especially Memphis. You know, we've done, in Memphis, there's a senator down there by the name of Brent Taylor, and he wants to make Memphis matter, and that's the name of his movement, Make Memphis Matter. And what he's done down there is remarkable. And he's got a coalition of folks down there that love Memphis, and he's trying to pull the rest of the state in, and I'm one of them. You know, I mean, Memphis needs to matter. If we're going to have a thriving Tennessee, Memphis is roughly 1 million of the people that live in this great state. And so we've done things in the legislature as a result. We put another 100 state troopers on the road in Memphis, trying to curtail the violence down there. And I think it's helped a little bit down there. I don't think it's solved all their issues, but it's certainly a good step.
But what you mentioned earlier about parenting, I mean,
right.
that's the biggest game changer right there.
It is. And you know, they used to have some groups, activist groups, that would put, you know, Scared Straight was my favorite, where they would take these offenders and take these kids to the jails.
Yeah.
And just
good show.
Scare the heebie-jeebies out of them, you know, to where they didn't want to come back. And I don't know what happened to that. I think they ought to do it. I'll tell you another thing that I wish they would do, and this was when I was in school. You had a choice. Adam, you're going to like this. When you went to court, if you got whatever it was, some transgression, the judge would ask you, hey, do you want to go to prison for 2 years, or do you want to join the Army?
It's a great one.
And it's unbelievable. I went to school with some punks.
Yeah.
And my first about 10-year class reunion, they were men.
Yeah.
You know, they joined the Army or joined the Marines, joined whatever. But and now I don't guess the military will touch them. However, you know, which kind of, I don't know. I think there's some merit there. I think there are some people that they just need structure in their lives.
Yeah,
you know,
not to the Navy though. Don't
and
waste
the
your time.
Army, Marines, whatever.
Army's great. Yeah, they're all great.
Gave them a chance, you know, honestly, and put some structure in their lives. And like I said, they went in as punks and came out men. And I can give you 2 or 3 examples of people I went to high school with. And I think we ought to bring that back in some form.
So we stopped doing that early 90s for some of our more liberal companions in this political landscape. Thought that maybe we shouldn't do that, because right now the military itself is an upheaval stage where we're trying to change back to things that we were doing before that were the right way, instead of having DEI hires and politicizing what we do as soldiers. So that was great, because we got people that actually could be soldiers, just needed discipline. But the government itself, depending on who it was, decided that wasn't the best thing to do, because we couldn't recruit in the courts anymore. Because, I mean, obviously the judge say, hey, I want you to join the Army, join the Navy, something like that. But if they found out about it, that was breaking UCMJ. I mean, that's a serious offense, big time.
All I know is that, I mean, you can be all that you can be in the Army. That was a campaign slogan from back in the day for the Army recruiting.
It's actually that they brought that back, Joe.
Did they?
Yes, be all you can be.
Those were the best commercials.
It's always good.
Hey, a teen arrested after a dangerous incident. This out-of-bond guy got arrested after a police chase. Let's take a look. Oh, there's Haley Vegas. Jared, her in pink. Do you prefer her in pink or the other outfits?
I don't prefer anything, Joe. I don't care. It's just none of my business. And you know Christy's listening, right? You're not going to trap me in one of those things.
I was just asking.
And then Brooke is over there, too. So, I mean, obviously Brooke would snitch on me if I was.
That's a good point. Well, Haley Vegas is, I consider her she is the Cindy Crawford of Nashville. Here, let's take a look at the story.
Rutherford County teenager is in custody in Wilson County after what police are calling a dangerous
Mount Juliet.
And little did law enforcement know the teen is linked to numerous other crimes from
Oh,
across
boy.
Middle Tennessee.
You don't
News
say.
2's My Owens is at the
Repeat offenders. I believe the term is recidivism.
Recidivism.
All right. I got to work on that. Recidivism. All right.
WKRN.com alert desk with the latest.
Well, Bob and Haley, we're talking about crimes ranging from aggravated assault, kidnapping, and sexual battery. And this all ended after a crash and a foot
Nice.
chase
Man.
in Mount Juliet. Now, 18-year-old Santos Velquez was out on bond for serial burglary.
I love how he's 18, 19 years old, but they use a teen. I mean, in my eyes, you're a grown person at this point, or should be.
What's his legal status? Is he?
I looked into it. I think he's legal. There's a couple stories. Well, I would hope so because he's been arrested about 8 times.
It doesn't
and
matter.
Released.
Doesn't matter these days, Joe. We arrest them and let them go because they're illegal.
No,
An evasive arrest in Nashville, wanted after out of Rutherford County when he was taken into custody by Mount Juliet police. Now, police say Velquez sped by officers on Interstate 40 East when the teen sideswiped a truck and trailer, causing the car to lose control and crash into a grass median. Police say while responding to the crash, Velquez then threatened a bystander with a knife as he ran away through a parking lot along Belinda Parkway. He was taken into custody a short time later after leading police on a foot chase. Now, a 16-year-old passenger was found unharmed in the crashed car and has been cooperating with officers. Velquez is now facing charges out of Rutherford County and Wilson County. He was booked into the Wilson County Jail. Haley.
Yeah, this guy's been arrested quite a few times. The guy has a past. Kids, crime don't pay. Don't do
That's
it.
where that 1.5 million could have gone to, Joe. We could have paid for more police officers. People think, oh, it's bad. Let's have more. That's called a deterrent, Joe. It's like a nuclear missile, all right? We don't have them to use them. We have them to scare you from bothering us. That's all.
Andy Cordan's one of my favorite reporters out of WKRN. Well, he's got the story about this agent who would confiscate drugs and this AK-47 after a traffic stop.
This all went down on Tuesday.
Look at his ties, the best ties in the business.
Working on I-65 stopped the Cadillac that was heading from Chicago to Nashville. This is an AK-47 pistol.
7.62 by 39 caliber.
It was loaded with 23 bullets. Drug agents with the 18th Judicial Drug Task Force will find this. It was hidden in a backpack. Investigators say that backpack belongs to Gerard.
All right, Andy Cordan, if you play another clip of the weapon being locked and loaded again, just for the sound effects.
I thought that was Tupac for a second.
Okay. Oh, it does look like Tupac.
Like, seriously, I was like, this is a Tupac thing.
It does look like Tupac. Here, let's take a look.
Kindred.
It's not illegal in and of itself. However, if it ends up in the wrong hands, it can become an issue.
A 23-year-old Chicago man who investigators say.
Hey guys, see this? Andy Cordan uses PowerPoint, okay, for this corporate media. Look at him do a slow zoom, a slow pan of the face, of the PNG face. Yeah, he's fantastic.
Legal in and of itself. However, if it ends up in the wrong hands, it can become an issue.
A 23-year-old Chicago man who investigators say has a violent history out of the Windy City.
Assault on a police officer, resisting, assault with a deadly weapon.
It all begins on I-65 South when the agent stopped Kindred's speeding Cadillac that was bound for Nashville. The agent immediately smells.
Wait, it's an agent, or a cop?
It's an agent.
An agent. Okay.
So it's
the pungent odor of
DEA
marijuana,
agent.
which the occupants admit they had been smoking.
You had one rolled up? I got you. You know, we had a smoke on the way here. Oh, you had already been smoking? Yeah, it's probably just a little less than a little baggy.
When the agent asked Kindred to get out of the back seat, he reportedly wants to take the backpack with him.
Oh. You leave your bag. Uh-oh. That's fine, just leave it.
I asked the defendant in this case, Mr. Kindred, to exit the vehicle, and when he did, he attempted to take a backpack with him. So then he took his jacket off that he was wearing and tried to cover up the backpack with his jacket.
I guess that didn't work.
So naturally, the first thing I searched was the backpack.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
And found this.
In the end, Kindred is taken into custody.
Put your hands hands on your back, okay?
The gun and a small amount of marijuana is also confiscated.
So he ended up actually saying that he was delivering the weapon to his cousin that was visiting Nashville.
Nice.
They were on their way here.
That's a good one. I'm just delivering the weapon.
It's not mine.
Yeah.
It's not mine.
From Chicago.
Chicago.
And the suspect is in the Sumner County Jail under a $75,000 bond. Now, I am told that the ATF is interested in the weapon.
What's up? But, it's still dangerous, but I mean, I'd admit that he'd probably miss.
Man, crazy world. Hey, did you know that in body camera footage, we watched some of the body camera footage, in the state of Tennessee, state troopers are allowed to mute their body cams while talking to other officers, other state troopers. I find that interesting.
I think that's fair.
I don't know about that. I don't know if that's fair.
Joe, honestly, this country needs right now is for us to go back to night sticking people, all right?
No, I don't agree with that.
Because we've been hugging it out for so long, and we've been doing things the wrong way that it's going to take a very hard right turn for us to fix what's going on.
I don't know about that, but like there was this guy that got arrested for DUI, and eventually he was released, and he's suing now because he wasn't drunk or anything. And during the traffic stop, the state troopers, when they were walking behind the car to talk to each other to see what they were going to do, they muted their cameras.
Okay. I mean, these days, Joe, it's a sad fact that we have allowed things to be just to go rampant in this country, and it's going to take something big to stop it.
Or something cool and a good story like this one. Here's this house painter, and he sees a house fire and he rushes towards it. Yeah, Senator Powers. I'm glad we got finally a good story to talk about.
This guy's a hero.
Even though there's a house fire involved, this guy got involved. Here's News Channel 5.
The crew works to make sure the fire on Franklin's Lakemont Circle can't rekindle. Joshua Schaefer.
It was definitely heart-wrenching.
We'll never forget this house. Joshua was painting a neighboring home when the fire started.
It smelled like tar, like tires burning. And we thought somebody was maybe burning trash. And I saw the neighbor, Eric, and his dad's name is Mike. They took off running, and I took off following because we saw the smoke coming up.
Joshua told the crew he was painting with,
I'll be right back.
A neighbor captured what the fire looked like in those moments.
Mike, the dad, and Eric ran up on the porch, and they knocked on the door.
Wow, that's
Nobody
gone.
answered. Mike ran up on the porch and started knocking really hard like the police would. And I saw the old man coming down the stairs. He didn't look like he knew where he was. He wouldn't open the door when he didn't realize the house was on fire.
Joshua knocked the door open so he and Eric could pull the man out.
The flames were so hot. I mean, he was hot to the touch. The fire was coming up through the bottom of the floor. And I turned around and tried to run back in with my shirt over my face. I yelled if anybody was there. Nobody answered. And he looked at me confused and said, "Oh, my house is on fire." The windows right here blew out. The upstairs had a window right here. It blew out.
Crews are still looking for the cause of the fire, and the family is trying to find the golden retriever. I've been in contact with the family of the man who was rescued. His wife says he's living with Alzheimer's. His daughter sends a message for Joshua. She says in part, there are no words to express our gratitude and thankfulness. Joshua is a hero. We will never forget his selflessness and could never repay what he's done for us. As for Joshua, he's from Asheville and is returning this weekend to continue helping with Hurricane Helene relief.
I just want to help everybody out. That's kind of who I am. I was raised that way. Check your neighbors, make sure everybody's okay. I'd want somebody to run in for me if it was on fire for me.
I'm Forrest Sanders, News Channel 5.
That's crazy. Senator Powers, ever been involved with the house fire or anything like that?
My house burned down when I was in college. I was not here. I was in school, and
you lose everything, right?
My parents lied to me. Yeah,
what they lie?
I was in the middle of exams, and they didn't want to upset me. And then I came home, and it wasn't quite that bad, but we lost about half of our house.
Yeah,
and so that's for me. Clothes and I had some clothes that smelled like smoke the rest of those days but really no house fires are they're bad.
And-
They really upend. They're no different than hurricanes, tornadoes, floods. All
Cause
those
damage.
things. That every one of them is. You can debate the I won't say the merits of it, but you can debate the unpleasantries of all of those things, and none of them are good at the end of the day.
And that's tough with the old guy there with the
Let's talk
Alzheimer's.
about what Billy said for a second. So with only bad cops, the ones that mute. I'm going to say this, Billy. So
in the comments, right?
Here with our country right now. We of course with the whole BLM movement, we made it to where cops are bad. Cops are bad. Cops are bad. Cops are bad. The only reason that we're safe to do what we are now is because the cops are out there making sure we can do it. But otherwise, I mean, are there bad cops out there? Sure. But you're talking about 300 to 1. 320 million people. There's the percentage of how many police officers we had to police this. I mean, obviously there's going to have to be some heavy-handedness going on. I mean, look at New York. We stopped letting the largest police force in the United States do what they do, and now New York is like literally out of control.
All I'm
it's
saying,
not coming back.
I would think what Billy's saying is, I think he agrees with me, and cops shouldn't be able to mute the body cam while on a stop. Now, I do think if they go to the bathroom and take a leak, that they should be able to mute it.
Well,
or turn it off.
pee.
Absolutely.
But I mean, if they're about to nightstick a child molester, I don't have a problem with that.
No,
I
do.
don't have a problem with that.
No, there's got to be. There's got to be accountability. And just like the guy that got arrested that did nothing wrong, we need to see what was said prior to or seen before.
But you know why I don't worry about it, Joe?
What's that?
I don't break the law.
Yeah, I hear you. Neither did the one guy. And he still got in trouble. Well, looks like he's going to win that lawsuit he's got going on.
That's what we got lawyers for.
All right, here we go. We got some legislation, and I'm interested to see Senator Powers on this one. Where my question is, should prisoners be able to have cell phones? The answer is no. They don't. They're not allowed to have cell phones. The question is, should we be able to jam the cell phones in state prisons?
100%.
You say yes.
Absolutely.
All right, let's take a look. Here's WKRN with some information.
Orchestrating hits, running drug rings, and managing criminal enterprises all from behind bars. And it's all because of illegal cell phones. Well, one Tennessee congressman says it's time to pull the plug. State Capitol reporter Tori Gessner explains how this proposed legislation at the federal level would work.
In prisons, some argue the most dangerous tool inmates can have isn't a weapon.
Oh.
It's a cell phone, the signal to the outside world used to commit
Do you hear the sound effect they use for the cell phone? I love it.
open. It's a cell phone, the signal to the outside world used to commit crimes behind bars.
In Tennessee, an inmate used a contraband cell phone to orchestrate drug conspiracy deals by shipping a package.
Do you know Representative David Kustoff?
I do know David Kustoff, yes.
Good dude?
Yes, he is. He was former prosecutor in Shelby County, so I think that's kind of where this comes from. Having been on the prosecutory end of the law, he knows what's happened in West Tennessee jails, and I'm with you. I'm for it.
100%.
I have no problems whatsoever with jamming a cell phone.
But what if
in prisons?
What if the prisoner needs to contact a family member in case of emergency, like with schools?
I think you gave up that right.
That's right.
Joe,
a long time ago.
So jail. That's
or
that's
it was
a problem,
taken
Joe.
from you. I should say, or should have been.
Our jails are too comfortable, so people don't fear going to jail. So that's another deterrent that we have allowed to slip.
Where they feel free, they can still run their crime rackets.
Brushy Mountain, all right? So we stopped having Brushy Mountain prison. People were afraid of going there, okay, because that was not a nice place to go. So they didn't want to, so we stopped using a deterrent. When we do have a deterrent, like go to jail, guess what? It's going to suck. It's not going to be fun.
Ever watch Mayor of Kingstown?
Of course.
Jeremy Renner, great show.
Yeah, great show, but this is it.
That
cell
with
phone.
the cell phone.
I've got my cell phone. I'm going to call in this. Dude, no. Yeah, guess what? Prison sucks. It's going to suck for you, too.
So, yeah, jamming the phones. And plus, Representative Kustoff, very well dresser, good dresser. Like every time I see him, this guy's dressed to the nines.
Full of methamphetamine to his girlfriend from within the prison.
That's just one example. A state law passed in 2021 made it a Class E felony for an inmate to have a cell phone. But Republican Tennessee Congressman David Kustoff wants to stop the problem at the signal. He sponsored legislation to allow cell phone jamming in state prisons for years, most recently last year, and plans to present it again.
The technology will protect inmates, it'll protect guards, and it'll protect the public at large.
Signal jamming in state prisons is currently banned thanks to the Federal Communications Act of 1934, passed long.
What? On the federal level, that's interesting.
Well,
I guess it's more, why do you think it's good that they have the right to run drug rings or any of that stuff? I'll tell you, if you wanted to talk to somebody, Judge Wallace, if you know Joel Wallace, he clerked for Kustoff.
I love me some Joel.
He went to University of Memphis Law School, and while he was there, he clerked for Kustoff. He's a big Kustoff guy.
I like Joel.
And that's how I met Kustoff.
Joe, what's amazing is why are we letting them use a law from 1934 to allow somebody to use a cell phone in jail when there were no cell phones then? That's the problem.
Well, now, here's my concern. Okay, you put this jammer on. Now the warden doesn't get to use their cell phone? Does it work like that?
You would think you would have exceptions.
Joe, you know, absolutely right now, sitting there that with a Duke, okay, just like we use in Iraq, that they have passive signal that can be used. Okay, that's absolutely 100%. So I mean, that's literally all they're talking about doing is setting up like a Duke system inside the prison, and it kills everything that's not on that passive system.
We used it so the bad guys couldn't use remote dead IEDs.
Same thing.
Yeah, wow.
Long before cell phones were even invented. Representative Kustoff plans to present the bill to allow jamming again next congressional session. And some state lawmakers and the commissioner of Tennessee's Department of Correction are on board.
I think that would be a big help across the country that other legislators I've talked to, they have the same issues and problems.
From Jackson.
You get along with Ed?
I do get along with Ed. Ed Jackson from Jackson.
See, that's why I think everyone that represents an area should be named that area. Bill Montgomery. Right. It's got a good ring to it.
Will eventually turn it into a brick and useless inside of the facility. So that would be, I'm sure I speak for a lot of correctional folks, whether they're in state, federal, or local, that the jamming would be just a tremendous support mechanism for our facilities.
Reporting in Nashville, I'm Tori Gessner.
State Senator Ed Jackson.
So you're for it.
I'm with the commissioner.
Absolutely.
You know, at some point, you've got to let these people do their jobs. You know, and if you hamstring them or cuff them and don't allow them to use the policies and the tools that they need to do their job, then why are they there?
Why are they there?
Sure.
I mean, you have to. And sometimes you don't agree with them, but they're the people in charge. I can't be an expert on everything that's related to state government. You just can't. You have to depend on people, and you depend on your commissioners. You depend on a lot of attorneys on the legalities of things, and ultimately I have to make up my own mind. And I also gauge the citizens back home. That's a big part of what I do. You know, I get a lot of emails from Montgomery County, and sometimes I don't vote like I would vote. I vote for when it's overwhelming.
Yeah.
You know, you have to vote your district. You just have to. That's why you were elected. You weren't elected to bring forth your own agenda. You were elected to represent your district, and that's
representative republic, something like that.
It's what you. I don't know if it's what you have to do, but it's what you should do.
What's some of the things that you voted for that stand out the most to you? That you're like, wow, this was a good thing.
Wow, Joe, I'd have to make a list, but we had one with we had collected. We raised the teacher's salary to $50,000, and actually in 2026. So there's step increases, but it will be, and I think it was $36,000. So raised it $14,000 in the next couple of years. Yeah, it is.
That's
for
a good
job
increase.
That, you know, and they get Christmases off, they get summers off. If they choose to work summers, they get additional monies, and so you just want to make sure that teachers are happy and that they're respected, and also, there's a lot of teachers that are scared of students these days, and
I don't blame them.
We end up doing
It's a shame.
a lot of stuff in that realm, trying to make sure that teachers are safe and also that teachers feel needed.
I have a bill I would like to present to the floor.
I don't think it works that way, Joe.
Okay. I'll get elected. I'll figure it out. But, okay, hear me out, guys. School should be all year round with 4 2-week breaks. All right? Fair deal?
Year-round schools is something that's various counties in
and I see the results.
Have done it, yeah.
And these test scores, and it's just better.
I'm going to say this, Joe, because I have actually 2 products of Montgomery County Central School Systems in this room.
That's right.
I think we're doing okay where we're at.
3.
Excuse me.
Oh.
Excuse me, Senator. I apologize. But there are 3 products of what the school system in this county have been doing, and I think we're doing all right. Because Brooke is doing great. Adam is doing great, and of course we have a state senator from Clarksville High School too. So
I was class president at Clarksville High School.
So I mean, we've got everything going on here. So I mean, those New York ideas, that's great.
No.
But tell me how good they've been in New York.
No, that's not a New York idea.
Or a New Jersey.
No, that's not a Jersey idea. I want those ideas implemented over there. Because they get these breaks, they get these time off, and
so Mama Padula is going to ask you to go ahead and contribute to the gene pool and put a kid out there to try that on. And then see, that's where the other thing is.
I'm waiting for them to go on sale.
When you got a kid and it's in
expensive.
the school system, then you're like, dude, I don't want you going to school 12 months a year. I mean, it's going to break your brain, all right? Adam and Brooke, they were doing homework over the weekend, all right? Adam does like 5 hours of homework a night.
That's right. That's right.
I mean,
it should be more.
I don't need him to like blow his mind out.
Should be more. All right, here, let's take a look at some Clarksville stories. Hey, we had I didn't realize this. We had a work-related death at Hankook. Here, take a look. There's lawmakers to pass workers' protection measures.
The advocacy groups pointing to deaths at construction sites in Nashville, the FedEx hub in Memphis, and a battery plant in Clarksville. That was all before 5 employees of Impact Plastics in East Tennessee died due to Hurricane Helene's floodwaters. Well, now advocates are pushing lawmakers to pass workers' protection measures to keep something like this from ever happening again. State Capitol reporter Tori Gessner explains.
The images from Impact Plastics paint a shocking picture.
So much water.
Hurricane Helene's floodwaters killed 5 of the plant's employees. After they receded, the allegations and calls for accountability began.
Senator, look at that damage, huh?
Whew.
Wow. That was some powerful stuff that came through that East Tennessee, North Carolina area.
Began.
They knew there was a chance. We worked right next to the river. None of this would be happening.
Impact Plastics denies any wrongdoing, arguing no employees died on the company's property, nor were they told they would be fired if they left.
There was time to escape.
But some workers' rights groups argue they never should have been there to begin with.
Had Impact Plastics made the decision that day to put people over their profits and their bottom line, those workers would still be with us today.
This is at Impact Plastics. This is the parking lot.
That line, their profits, listen, oh boy. All right.
Tragedy also catching lawmakers' attention.
These allegations in East Tennessee with this plastics company are incredibly concerning. When I read about that, it reminded me of the Triangle Shirtwaist Fire in New York City, if you're familiar with that. That was a devastating tragedy that led to massive worker protections.
A statewide coalition of advocacy and faith groups want to see more done in Tennessee, including legislation adding protections for workers who choose to follow public safety recommendations in times of disaster. That's just one change Tennessee for All Coalition says could save lives and prevent another workplace tragedy.
A lot of the health and safety pieces at the local level have actually been preempted over the last 10 years by the Tennessee state government. So municipalities, cities, and counties aren't able to hold these employers accountable, which means that the state absolutely has to do it, but then also our communities really deserve the right to have that agency and to assert that those health and safety protections at the local level as well.
Reporting in Nashville, I'm Tori Gessner.
Senator, your thoughts?
You know, obviously a bad situation. Nobody knew what was coming.
Right.
My thoughts on that are the same thing that we had here after the tornado that came through. You know, we pushed, the tornado pushed 400, 500 homes off their, and we here in Tennessee, off their foundation. And we here in Tennessee, we don't wait for the federal government to come. I remember New Orleans, people saying, you know, the government needs to come save us. We just don't do that here
right.
in Tennessee. We pull ourselves up by our bootstraps, and we go in and start cleaning up before anybody has any money. You know,
so many volunteers.
People like YAPAC and people like YAPAC's
Sherry?
Unbelievable. Sherry is absolutely the best. So we adhere to a little bit of a different drummer here in the state of Tennessee. We pull ourselves up by our bootstraps and we get on it, and if the money comes, it comes, and if it doesn't, that's okay. We're going to be fine. We did the same thing here with the tornado, you know, that tore down the courthouse, as well as the flood that ravaged Riverside Drive.
Talking about 99
we
and 2010.
didn't wait for anybody.
Yeah,
we didn't wait for anybody to come tell us to clean up, or here's some money, go clean up. Here's a Swiffer, you know, go take care of it. We did it ourselves, and you know, let me also say that Fort Campbell jumps in too. You know, there's soldiers.
Yep.
Soldiers went to East Tennessee.
Absolutely.
So not only do we have you know, people up there, but Mayor Golden, you know, he sent trucks up there to help haul away debris. But
I might run against Wes.
Also, there are a lot of troops up there that Fort Campbell sent to help.
Task Force Falcon.
Help with it.
Yeah.
So we don't in Tennessee. We're just a little different than the rest of the, and I think most southern states are.
Sure.
You know, I think we're pretty resourceful.
Self-reliant.
Yeah, you know, kind of like. I always use firemen. Firemen are 3 days on and 4 days off, or whatever they are. But you know, all these people have other jobs. You know, and
that's right.
They're very, and I think we all have. So when you send them there, they don't stand around and look. You know, they are there to, you know, get things going and remedy the situation and get things moving again. And I think it just makes us different as a state.
We got this.
Hold your horses, Joe. Hold your horses. So let's look at a common sense.
Hold my horses.
Let's.
I'm hosting the show.
Let's think.
You hold your horses.
Let's think about a common sense.
Clarksville officials investigating double arson.
Wait a
Here
second.
we go. We can't jump. We had a good point. Tell me how to run my show.
Megan Fee is at the WKRN.com alert desk with your message this morning.
Nicole, good morning. Clarksville fire officials and police say they need your help finding out who's responsible for two arsons on Clark Road that have happened within the past month.
Road.
We're told the fires were lit on September 14th and October 4th. If you have any information, you're asked to call the Tennessee Arson Hotline. Clarksville Fire says
that's by that
tips with
Walgreens
helpful
there.
information may lead to a cash reward of up to $5,000. For any questions, information, or video of the arsons, you're asked to contact the Clarksville Fire Department. Nicole?
Thank you.
So, arson. Maybe you know something. That North Clarksville area. Oof. Any updates from North Clarksville? Are we getting better up there, crime-wise?
We got to go back to the flood thing, Joe. We
All
got to
right.
talk about that.
What do you got?
So with the let's talk about common sense for a minute. If
Uh-huh.
you feel that your life is in danger, no matter where you work at, you have to take personal responsibility and say, "Hey, I think I might be in danger. I'm going to leave."
Right.
I can talk about this later with a lawyer, and we can figure it out. So everybody's saying, "Oh, it's the jobs place, and I can't leave." Let me tell you what: the only job you can't leave, the one that says U.S. something behind it, like U.S. Army,
That's right.
Navy,
That's right.
Air Force, Marines. If it says
The ones where you took that oath?
if it said Walmart or International Plastics, guess what?
Yeah.
The exit is right over there. And unless you got a gun on me, you're not stopping me.
And the company did say they were free to leave, right? Without repercussion?
They said they were free to leave, but they may not come back now. Okay, so in the heat of the moment, people are going to say something stupid, but then when the law gets involved, like, hey, here's my attorney.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this. I like my job back. You know what they're going to do? Okay, you got your job back. Sorry.
That's right.
People were dying. Let's use common sense instead of saying let's legislate it.
And these atrocities that happen, they happen so infrequently. You know, it's just hard. You can say that you have an emergency drill or whatever it might be, but I think it harkens back to 9/11 when you had people in the Twin Towers and they were saying, "Oh, you need to hunker down where you are because the firemen will be there soon. They're coming up." And what happened? You know, the buildings dropped and they didn't make it, you know. But there were some people that hit the stairwell as soon as they
immediately.
And that's right. And so, fortunately, it's a tough situation, obviously, but sometimes you got to do what your gut tells you to do. And not only did it happen at the plastics plant, but it also happened at the Twin Towers, and I'm sure it'll happen in other places going forward. So you just kind of try to learn from it and move forward. But obviously the best decision would have been to get out of there, but I can see why people don't make
it's
those
also
decisions.
It looks like a very big building. Looks like it could be a safe place to be. But man,
but you got to use personal accountability too. It's like, look, if I thought this building was about to burn down, I'm taking these 2 kids,
that's right,
and my stuff, and we're leaving right now. I'm not going to say goodbye, I love you. I'm just going to say, you two, that door now, and we're leaving. It's not a question. It's like, do I feel like I am an adult and can make my own decisions instead of asking my boss, "Oh, should I save myself?" No.
Yeah.
Stupid. Stay here and work. You might die, but I'm going to get my plastic out of you.
Flight or fight is real.
That's true.
Absolutely. Hey, we had 20 chickens killed after a coop fire in Montgomery County.
You were really digging for this one, weren't you?
Several chickens died in a fire today in Montgomery County. Firefighters were called to a home on Daly Road.
This is just to go to show you, if this is our headlines, things aren't that bad here.
Unfortunately, 20 chickens died. Crews said the fire was started by a heat lamp. It was plugged into an extension cord which ran from the house to the chicken coop.
Which I want to make a reminder, it's going to be chilly these next couple nights.
Do you think?
Okay, those space heaters that you have, make sure that they're in good operating order. Okay, we don't want to see any house fires due to that.
Were you looking at us for a space heater show? Because I can guarantee you that I don't have a space heater in my house. I'm going to go out on a limb and say Senator Powers doesn't either. So, I mean,
no, I hear you.
It's it's a safety hazard. I mean, for folks that have to have them, I understand that. You know, not everybody's knows everybody's situation, but I don't have one of those. No, I sure don't.
And the heating lamps.
And I'm going off topic here, but I see in front of me, Billy's is asking about me and medical cannabis, and I have said that I am for medical cannabis. I'm not for recreational, but I do think medical cannabis is a thing whose time has come, and I say that for Fort Campbell. I can't tell you how many people I've had write into me. I've said all along it's for PTSD. For cancer patients, you know, they can eat again, and so there's many things that we can get for the people that live in this state out of medical cannabis, and I've been for it from day one, 6 years ago when I got to the Tennessee State Senate. There's another lady that's there with me, Senator Janice Bowling from Tullahoma, and she and I are probably the two staunchest proponents in the state Senate for medical. You know, the problem with that, and I'm once again getting off topic, but the problem is it's a Schedule I with the federal government, and as long as it's a federal government Schedule I, we are reticent to change things. You know, at one point, if you owned a pot shop, you couldn't even have a bank account. You know, because that money was illegal.
Cannot be federally insured.
It was really a problem. And we've been able to work around that. So medical cannabis, I think 38 states currently have it. But what I'm getting, the kickback from the state of Tennessee has to do everything with Schedule I. So if we can get it, and even the Biden administration says it should be a Schedule III. And if it becomes a Schedule III, I think you will see movement in the state of Tennessee.
So we can't do anything until it becomes a Schedule III?
people around, the people that vote,
Yeah,
the people
right.
that are in the legislature, like I said, are reticent to do so as long as it's a Schedule 1.
Wow.
They just are.
Interesting.
Federal government doesn't allow it. Why should we?
Okay.
I mean, to touch on what Senator Power said, I mean, even if we did make it legal here in the state, we could still be blacklisted by Post instantaneously because we're selling this. We're selling a narcotic. It is illegal federally. Soldiers cannot take it. Like we'll say, for example, at the shop, if I had marijuana to sell at the shop, we'd be on the blacklist instantaneously because we're selling a drug.
That's absolutely
It's like
right.
that
The
CBD stuff.
blacklist.
Is like you will be on the blacklist. The soldiers are not allowed by order. They are not allowed to go to your business. Period. So I mean that's something. When it goes into the military, that I mean, they still have that. You go on the blacklist, brother. It's a death sentence in this town. Your business is done.
And Schedule 1, just so everybody will know, it's heroin.
Heroin.
You know, I mean, it's crazy things that are on there, whatever.
LSD, heroin, cocaine. All
so
that stuff.
marijuana's on the cocaine list.
That's right. Yeah, they're
on
all
the same
I
level.
don't know about cocaine. I'm not sure about that.
Or
but
heroin,
I
at
do know
least.
heroin.
Wow.
You know, I mean,
It's a Schedule 1 narcotic.
So I'm hoping we can revisit that just for the people that need it, and obviously here you're going to get a kickback with Big Pharma.
Yeah.
You know, they like to sell their drugs.
Oh, yeah.
They don't like the drugs that.
I've seen that help my battle buddies.
Yeah.
A couple of my battle buddies who got it medicinally.
Sure. PTSD and cancer are the two biggest for me. The reasons that we should have medicinal.
Over $800,000 dedicated to preserving Tennessee's historical and archaeological resources,
Tennessee Historical
including
Commission
Montgomery
and
County.
the State Historic Preservation Office awarded 21 grants to support resources across the state. A few organizations in Davidson County earned a portion of funds. $60,000 will help restore stained glass windows at the Lindsley Avenue Church of Christ. $43,000 is going to fund a phase of a cemetery survey and preservation plan. $30,000 will go to restoring the Alfred's Cabin at the Hermitage. And out in Montgomery County, $30,000 will help to develop downtown urban design.
Let me also say, I looked there and it says Regional Planning Commission.
Yeah.
My father was chairman of the Regional Planning Commission for 10 years here in Montgomery County. So it's
What's their role?
It's kind of interesting. They make sure you don't have a trailer next to your palatial estate, Joe. They make sure that that there's roads, that there's infrastructure there. They are a forward-thinking commission. But yeah, the Planning Commission. Everybody comes before the Planning Commission to, you can't put an ultra-modern building in downtown.
Right.
That's just something.
Like
you want to protect the integrity of the historical assets that we have.
Like if you want to put up a sign in front of your business, this is the group that you go in front of for that approval when you're downtown?
Yeah. If
Okay.
you want to put up a sign, you mean a neon
Yeah,
sign
yeah,
or whatever.
yeah, right.
Yes. It's you've got to adhere to things that make Clarksville, or Montgomery County, and it's a good thing.
Have you seen the blueprints of that Milan building, that 10-story Milan?
I have.
It looks
I've
pretty
seen it.
interesting.
Yeah,
Looks pretty cool.
Leo said he's taking the top floor. I tried to buy it for me and you, Joe, but he wouldn't. He wouldn't let me have it.
Did you see he was in that plane crash?
I did see.
That's
that.
crazy.
It was in a. I'm glad to hear everybody's.
Absolutely.
Everybody's fine. It was a
Him and the kids,
student. Right? It was a pilot. I don't know. Evidently, they were just trying to get out of there.
Right. Oof.
Took the first plane out.
Man.
Yeah, not good.
Not good. I'm glad they're all right, though, like you said. All right, Clarksville police need help identifying suspect in theft of lottery tickets. Do they not know that these are, trackable?
Serial numbered?
Yeah.
Something like that?
In Clarksville, police need help trying to identify this suspect who stole lottery tickets.
I think I know her.
Theft was Wednesday at the Circle K on Warfield.
Looks like my aunt. Maybe it's her.
On Warfield Boulevard. Police say the woman here took of tickets sitting right on the counter. Anyone who knows who she is, reach out to Clarksville Police.
Scratching, Joe.
That's a lot of scratching. But yeah, Jared, like you said, there's serial numbers on these things, right?
Yeah.
Very traceable.
There's a little like Scantron stuff on the back of it, like where you can scan it.
Uh-huh.
So because they have to verify. They have to be able to verify that this is a legit, real ticket, and like it's processed by the state of Tennessee and all that stuff. So when you do that, that's dumb. They're going to be able to say, okay, so this bundle was on this stolen bundle.
Yeah.
That's very, very well controlled because that state of Tennessee does not like giving away free money. Okay, they do not.
No.
So when they give away lottery tickets and stuff, that's one of those things like, well, okay, so we have to, but we're going to track it, okay, because somebody stole it or they're faking it or something like that. We're going to be very careful about that.
Man, lottery tickets. Early voting starts tomorrow. BillPowersTN.com. Yeah, we need you.
I think you're safe. I think you're going to be all right. I think you're going to be just fine.
Yeah, but no, go out and vote. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
You go out and vote. Early vote.
I said it earlier before we went on the air, but politicians, we're a fragile bunch, and we want to make sure that we get all of our people out, like-minded individuals to go. Please don't go to the polls alone.
Yeah.
Please fill up your car with people that like-minded individuals that want to save this country. And I honestly think that there are other groups that really don't want to save the country as we know it today or have known it in the past.
You're absolutely right about that, sir.
And that if you please go 100. To the polls, please take somebody with you that is going to vote like you.
Check out BillPowersTN.com for more information, okay?
We could have been talking about that instead of the chicken coop being on fire, Joe.
Well, that was breaking news from WSMV.
Real important. I'm just saying.
Right. Do you know how excited I get when I see a story on YouTube that has the Clarksville from the mainstream media? And what do we get? Chicken coop.
But I'm going to touch on that, Joe. That means everything is good here, okay? It could be there's a lot worse places to live than this. This is a good place to live. And if the worst we got is a chicken coop caught on fire, I'm so happy with that. It's not even funny.
And it's because of local elections, who we elect.
What burns in a chicken coop?
Hay or the dry, because there's hay inside of the.
And maybe 2x4s or
2x4s, that kind of stuff.
Chicken crap maybe.
It could be something in there from the electrical fire from the bulb.
All right, so there's some good Clarksville stuff going on. Make sure to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, the whole bits, and.
Let me say, and another point that I made earlier.
Yeah, what do you
that
got?
I want to say is that going out and voting, we have had in Montgomery County, we've had 14,000 people move here in the last 3 years. So it's close to 5,000 people every year, and we have absolutely no idea how they vote. So it's going to be interesting in this upcoming election to figure out how those people that came here. To change Tennessee, or did they come here because they no longer like what they were putting up with in the way of taxes in New York, Chicago, Texas, wherever they came from?
You would hope that they left.
We would hope that they're refugees from a high-tax state.
Yeah.
But we just the fact is we really just don't know. So this election is going to tell us a lot about what's moved here in the past 3 years.
It's a fair point. Because you're right, we don't know.
No, we don't. They've moved here, and that's great. We love to have them, and it's we're a welcoming community, and they all say, oh, they love it here, and how it's so much better than where they came from. But I think it's important to remember that. Anyway, it's an interesting dynamic.
Jared, when did you move to Clarksville?
I was stationed here in 2007. Stayed till 2011 September. Moved to Fort Polk, Louisiana for about a year and a half, 2 years. And then me and Adam commuted back to Fort Campbell to stay. So we've been here for 11 years now.
11 years, yeah. And we've all seen the growth. And Senator Powers, you were born and raised here.
I was born here in 1957 at the. I was born in the seafood department at Publix over
there.
on
Madison
Street,
where the old hospital used. I hear those stories,
and it was new back then. Actually, it was in the first couple of years when I was born in 1957. So
yeah, a lot of changes in the city.
Lots of changes.
I'm happy for us to have these people coming here. As long as I don't have to we don't have to pay for teachers to speak Spanish. To teach all these kids coming in, it's just a thing. If
that's a big problem right now.
Yeah, you have to adhere to what we're doing. We're not going to adhere to what you're doing. Okay, we want you to conform to our society, not us conform to yours.
With 22 million, who knows the exact number of illegals
Let's
that
say
have entered
15,
this country.
Joe. Let's go with 15 because I want to feel good about it still. Okay?
Yeah,
let's say 15. 15.
I hope. But with that there's a huge issues in the school systems for the children that have come in here too that don't speak a lick of English.
I mean, we might pull a Reagan on them though. We might pull a Reagan and make them all citizens and start taxing them. Well, I mean, pulling a Reagan is not the worst idea.
Well, that's what caused California to turn from red to blue. Yeah, that's when that all started.
Either that or I'm for the alternative. I'm for the alternative. Spider mines and 50 cals, all right? Spider mines and 50 cals.
Well, I'm down for trivia tonight.
Trivia.
Oh, Senator, you should come to trivia tonight. we could tell yeah. I think you do very well. You're a smart guy.
I'm going to be packing up my stuff and get ready for early voting tomorrow.
You got a long week.
I do. I got a long 3 weeks. So.
Well, here, let's play a quick round then, okay? Tuesdays at 7 o'clock, All Days Brew House. Hey, I had a good time with the comedy show.
Joe, I told you that worked out great, didn't it?
That kind of did.
I told you it worked out great. You sat there, got the chill.
Yeah.
But people stayed.
Yeah.
And it was good. I thought it was great.
That worked out good.
It's totally good.
We coordinate. Yeah, we'll figure that out.
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
I thought that wasn't bad at all.
Yeah. All right, here we go. The category is going to be Clarksville, Tennessee. Okay. Oh, yeah, when you're in charge of the evidence room, don't touch the stuff, okay? Just saying. All right. From the building, name the business in Clarksville, Tennessee. All right. Here we go. Let's go. Good luck. Where is this?
Okay, so that is the old Kmart.
You're saying the old Kmart.
Mm-hmm.
Is it Big Lots?
Ladies and gentlemen. Hey, do the kids know? Do the youths?
Absolutely not. Adam has no idea who that is.
I'll tell you what. If you zoom in, you might see dead chickens here.
Oh, no. It's that's not it. No, that's not it. No. It's got,
I know. It may be
Rural King.
Hard.
Boom!
Rural King. Okay.
The Rural King. Yeah.
Look for a second. I was like, wait a second. Where's all this? There's no stuff out in front of it, Joe. So I mean,
that's right.
That's very misleading.
Yeah,
it's misleading.
Yeah. So it's not Hardware City.
No, it's not. No.
All right. What about this place?
That's Belk's.
You're going with Belk's.
It is Belk's.
Yep, you guys are right. That's Belk, which is now it's an outlet. Is it Belk's outlet? I looked at the chick because it's clothing. Okay, she gives me confirmation. Belk outlets now. Now it's cheaper, I guess.
I suppose.
All right. What about number 3?
Ooh. That's the shoe place, right? No.
It's not the shoe carnival.
I'll give you a hint. It begins with the letter A.
Aldi.
Aldi's. Oh, I wish we had an Aldi's look
small.
like that.
Too small to be Aldi's.
That is Academy.
Academy Sports.
Academy.
I was going to say athlete something, but that wasn't it.
I buy ammo there.
Well, they ran some people out of business with the ammo thing.
Did they?
They sure did.
It was Dick's, wasn't it?
Dick's?
No, they ran one of our James. You know James Hoskins.
Yeah.
That runs the jiu-jitsu place.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he started up that gun place, and
that's
Academy
right.
soaked the ammo out because obviously that's a corporation that's nationwide, and they had more money.
Is there a local place I could buy ammo?
Sure, Tennessee Gun Country.
Yeah, okay, that's
it's
right.
It's a great
that's
place
right.
to go. It used to be there used to be Allen's, but Allen's is now out of business. Clarksville Guns and Archery is also an excellent place to go get ammo.
McConnell's.
Sure, absolutely. I mean, those support local business first. Okay, don't go to Academy or Walmart. Go to Clarksville Gun Country or Tennessee Gun Country.
Tennessee Gun Country, okay.
Yeah, Clarksville Guns and Archery over there on Publix if that side of town.
That's right.
Tennessee Gun Country if we're on this side of town.
Yeah.
Okay, it's good places to go.
All right, number 4
is Andy's Pharmacy.
Yes, it's Andy's Pharmacy. It's very good. Oof. So, this place, ever go in here? Andy's Pharmacy?
No.
It's right on there in the corner of 2nd and Riverside.
I go on post, Joe. You know that.
All right, what about number 5?
That is Screaming Eagle Cigars.
Are you sure?
I'm 100% positive.
Ladies and gentlemen, Screaming Eagle Cigars. Go check them out. What's the exact address?
2088 Lowe's Drive.
Okay, that's Screaming. That's Old Days.
Yeah.
1925 Fort Campbell Boulevard, Suite G, Clarksville, Tennessee, 37042.
Is there a massage parlor next to you guys?
There may be a massage parlor next to us, and there may be a Korean barbecue place on the other side of
How
us.
good is that Korean barbecue place?
So Momo's
Yeah.
is a staple of this town. Momo's
Absolutely.
has been here for forever. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Go check them
For
out.
sure.
Good stuff.
But the massage parlor, this is good. It's
Yeah.
good, I guess. Yeah. Never tried it.
Hey, we got Old Dave's Brew. Christy, you hear that? Old Dave's Brew House. Trivia night every Tuesdays at 7 o'clock. Come on out tonight, 7 p.m. Absolutely. All right. Make sure to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. And again, early voting starts tomorrow. BillPowersTN.com for more information. Woo! All right, gentlemen. Wow, an hour and a half of conversation. Thank you. Thank you. I learned.
Thank you.
I love learning. And yeah, you got to win. You got to win.
I think he's fine.
Okay, all right. I'm just.
Yeah, I don't.
All right.
Listen to you.
I think he's fine. Yeah.
Just got to make sure. That's all.
You got to run like you're 5 points down.
You're right.
I mean, you got me worried about Mark, though. Now I'm worried about Mark. I'm worried about Mark. That's concerning.
Mark Green,
Yeah, that's concerning.
Congressman Dr. Mark Green.
That's concerning.
We got to get out there and vote. Don't take advantage. Don't take lights. And like what Senator Power says, go bring somebody with you to the polls.
Like-minded individuals.
Yes, that's right.
Like-minded individuals.
All right. Well, thank you for allowing us, enabling us to have a conversation. All right. I'm Joe Padula.
I'm Jared Stover.
And I'm Senator Bill Powers.
And this was the local news you needed to know. Absolutely.